ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. Asmus Toys reached out to me and said, "Hey Justin, would you like to take a look at our Devil May Cry V figure?" Firstly, I replied saying I'm not exactly sure what that is, but if you want to send me something, I'll definitely take a look at it. I was intrigued by a certain thing that they've done to the body. More on that in just a second. So of course, in order to actually understand a little bit more about the character, I invited Daniel, the expert, over to tell you a little bit more about V.
Hey guys, how you doing? And I'm super excited. This is the third figure from the Devil May Cry range that Asmus has made, and this is the online store exclusive. I can't wait to see how V looks. I'm really excited. Spoilers, the thing that Justin was talking about, I can't wait to see either.
Excellent. So what we are going to do now is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. And here we have the box art for V himself. As you can see, an image of the character right up here on the front of the box. I really do like the artwork, how it's got this glossy effect. You can see Devil May Cry and Asmus's various logos. Interestingly enough, they've actually collaborated with Pop Toys here for the outfit. Pop Toys often does outfit sets for various characters, and hopefully that means they've lent their pedigree to this release. You can see that I do believe it is numbered there on the front by hand. That looks like pen to me, and it does say Devil May Cry once again. As I said, I don't really know much about this video game franchise, but I am curious to see what they've done with the body because, spoiler alert, this guy does have some tattoos, and he also does have seamless arms. Companies have actually really struggled to do seamless arms and tattoos at the same time, so I'm really quite excited to find out how Asmus have done it. We may not be able to see just yet, but they are definitely on there, and that is quite an interesting sight to behold. The outfit itself is also pretty darn good looking. Now you can see he does come with a bunch of stuff in the tray, so what we are going to do now is get everything he comes with laid out in the light box and take a closer look. And here we have all of the accessories that come with V. Starting off with the display base first, it's relatively straightforward. It's literally a circle with a design around the edge and a printed surface on the top that's meant to replicate a cobblestone sort of path. I like the way it looks. Initially, I was a little bit sad that this wasn't sculpted in, but now, having had a think about it, it's probably better it's a flat surface for getting the figure to stand up. It's a little bit thicker, so it may sit a little bit higher than some of your other figures in your display, but honestly, it's not too big of a deal. Now, being the online exclusive version, he does come with this alternate head sculpt with the greyish white hair and the eyes looking off to the side. I have to say this head sculpt looks pretty darn good. The hair itself is slightly different sculpt-wise to the one that comes on him, and you'll see that later on in the video. He does also come with this little necklace piece. It is made out of an actual string, and there's this teeny tiny little tooth on the end there. He also comes with his book. It does have the letter V on the front in a nice gold paint. It does have real pages, and I'm not sure if you can make that out, but it does say Holy Thursday, and then a little bit of a story there as well, plus even more printing on the other pages. That is a really nice touch. He also comes with various hands of different designs. You've got the ones with the tattoo and the ring, and then this one that has the hint of the tattoos underneath, a black style glove. The paint applications on these hands look pretty darn awesome. The last thing that he does come with is this cane that does kind of resemble a sword. It is rather pointy, so do be careful, and I do like the paint and design motif on the top here. It's got this sort of serrated and very organic but still metal at the same time look about it. It's just rather interesting. What we are going to do now, though, is get V himself out here and take a closer look. And here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And yeah, he looks pretty darn good from a technical perspective, and that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on. You'll hear me say that again, I'm sure, throughout the course of this video, but tell you a little bit more about the character himself and how this figure compares to his in-game counterpart. I'm going to be handing off to Daniel
Oh, you know what? I am very, very impressed. Like, I've seen the other two. So we've got Dante, we've got Nero, and those are the Devil May Cry agency members you guys have already known from the game. V is our newest member, but if you look at him here, he looks like he's popped directly out of the trailer. Now, Justin and I did watch this together, and literally when we saw it, we were like, actually, that's a really good translation. And I'm going to put it out there. If you have the original Dante character or Nero, V would just slot right next to him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it out there as well. I think they've actually done a more faithful translation on V compared to the others, and I'm super excited. This is the online exclusive version, which also has the kind of bloodline / grey hair, which is actually, I think it's super cool. So when I look at it and you have a Dante and you have V with that grey hair, they're going to match up super well. And if you don't want him to do like that, look like that at all, you can just have him with the black hair like that as well.
And there you have it. What we are going to do now is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have him up close and personal. Now, while I don't know a hell of a lot about the outfit itself, I will be talking about the figure from a technical perspective. Starting off with the head sculpt itself, it's really well done. I can tell based off the online screenshots and the trailer that Daniel and I have both seen, it looks really darn good. It's got this sunken in look about it that's pretty darn accurate. Also, if you do compare the standard head sculpt to the grey one, you can see that they do look slightly different just because this one has the eyes going off to one side. I was a little bit mistaken earlier when I said the hair looks different. It's actually just this little piece which has come out, which is supposed to wrap around the side of his face there. Now, the super interesting thing about the figure is the seamless arms with the tattoos tampoed on there. I was wondering how on earth were they going to do that, because a couple of companies have said that they literally couldn't make that happen, but Asmus seems to have done it here. Yes, they can still bend, although I am worried that over time they will get slightly damaged. This feels like how Barbie does it, and not to say this by any means feels like a Barbie, but this is more of a Fermit style plastic with an armature on the inside, so it's not the usual style of articulated seamless arms. It's not that squishy soft material. It actually does feel rather rigid, and the tattoos themselves look absolutely exceptional. The detail also extends down to the hands themselves. Now, the torso also has a bunch of tattoos, but the torso isn't a rubbery style material, it's more of that harder style plastic, exactly the same as the arms. It almost seems like they've invented a new way of doing seamless bodies. I don't know if this is going to be sturdier or weaker than what other companies have been doing, but it's just rather interesting. Now, the outfit itself is relatively simple, just a black pleathery style trench coat and a corset which is actually part of the trench coat itself. Coming down the bottom, there are wires around this edge, but not down the front, just around the side, so you can get a little bit of attitude out of the bottom of the jacket. Then, coming down to the pants and the belt, you can see some design work here, which I do believe are little teeny tiny skulls that are attached to the belt, plus some pleathery style pants. Then, interestingly enough, he does have sandals on, so you do get a fully sculpted foot and the sandal over the top. This, however, is made out of a softer style plastic. As you can see, it does flex back and forward. I'm not overly impressed, however, with the paint applications on the foot itself. Compared to the arms and the hands, which look absolutely fantastic, these feet look a little bit flat. Granted, they're feet. They'll get the job done. They look like how they're supposed to, but nevertheless, I'm still relatively impressed with the entire piece. Now, for a quick side-by-side comparison, I really honestly didn't know who to compare this guy to, so here's the PS4 Iron Spider. And as you can see, for some reason on camera he comes across like he's quite a bit taller than V, but in person he isn't. They're pretty similar heights actually. It's quite weird that the camera's doing that distortion, but nevertheless, he does scale fairly nicely compared to the Iron Spider, who I would say is about a regular Hot Toys height. So that should give you an idea if you are planning on popping your V alongside some of your Hot Toys video game characters. Just going over articulation on V. Now bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now, starting off with the head sculpt itself, it is on a fixed neck body, so you can see it does move the usual array, but going back is rather significant. The arms themselves are actually pegged in separately to the body. They're on ball joints, as you can see right there, so they do sit on the inside. They go up to about there. They of course go all the way around. There is a butterfly joint up there as well. There's no swivel whatsoever in the arm unless you bend the elbow and then manually swivel it outwards, but honestly I wouldn't really recommend doing that. As for the elbow bend, it goes comfortably to about there. You can push it further, but I'd be slightly more careful just due to the nature of this material here. We do have regular 1/6 scale joints for the wrist itself. Now we do have one cut in the torso, then one at the waist, so crunching to about there, arcing back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs themselves go forward to about there, they go out pretty much the full way, swivel at the thigh, double bend here for the knee, and of course a regular 1/6 scale ball joint for the ankle itself. Just wrapping up on V based off his appearance in Devil May Cry. I have to say, I really didn't know what to expect going into this, but I was curious, and I did say that to Daniel when I invited him over to help me with this video. I wonder how on earth they've done the seamless arms. And I have to say, at the end of this video, I'm pretty impressed. It's weird in the way that they've done it, because I personally have never seen it done this way before, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I hope that the material they've chosen, the tattoos aren't going to either fade away or rub off or get damaged, and the arms themselves aren't going to get creased and aren't going to crack. But seeing as this is the first time I've ever seen this, I can't really say for sure. All I can say is the quality in hand feels very, very sturdy and they look fantastic. So in my opinion, they've definitely done a pretty darn awesome job. Also, Daniel and I both agree that the translation is pretty faithful from the game, so that's another point in Asmus's favor. But, as I said, I personally have never played the game, so I'm going to hand off to Daniel to give you his final thoughts on the figure.
So guys, if you wanted your Devil May Cry protagonist V, and you guys already know, if you've played the game, he is one of the most standout and different mechanic fighting characters that you can have in this series. You've got your stoic poet, because we've said that before, that wonderful little spell book is a book of poetry for him. If you want to get him, I don't think they're going to make a better translation of him. They've done a really great job with the engineering on him, and if you look at him right now, and if you pause it in its wonderful crisp 4K goodness, you can go straight back to the trailer and go, wow, that figure is so spot on. I love it, and you know what? I love the game, so I'm a fan. Great work, Asmus.
Excellent. Well, I might have to actually give the game a go myself, and then take a look at a few more Asmus products, because they've definitely impressed me with this release. Now, I'm not sure if he's still available to order in his online exclusive variant, which is individually numbered, so you'll have to have a look. If he is available, I will put the link in the description down below. Also, while you are down there, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.